Guess what we're going to talk about today? Anybody? Anybody? Lighting. Okay, so obviously lighting is something you need when you're making videos. And I originally was going to do this just as sort of a review on a new set of lights that I got recently. The ones that I did pick up, I'm going to tell you, are flat panel Raleno, R-A-L-E-N-O, and I'll leave a description and all that stuff, or I'll leave something in the description about them. But the reason why I got them is because the old ones that I was using were a little bit big and bulky. They're still big and bulky. I'm using them right now because obviously I've got this one in front of me, and there's some reasons why I selected the ones that I did, and I'll kind of go over that in just a second here. I'm going to do a little bit of, I guess, maybe a little bit of review on lighting itself and what the importance is. For instance, right now I've got two lights. One of them is more or less a key light. The other one is pretty much of equal light value, or they're identical, but I spaced them pretty close to each other. One of them is the main key light, the other one's to kind of wash out the shadows a little bit without hopefully making me look too bad or too washed out. Now what I also did is there's a light above me that's a different color that's for hair and highlighting, so you can tell the difference between my head and the background and where, you know, they don't look washed out or they meet somewhere. Now, what I was doing up until very recently is I was using a set that was similar to this. Now, not quite like this, but it's the same principle. They operate on, it's 5600, I believe is the temperature rating on it, which is like a bright daylight type bulb. It is, true light would be more of a 4100K, like you see in a jewelry store or something like that. But this is a brighter, by the time it gets diffused, it's a bright light. It kind of helps balance everything out by the time the camera gets to see it. This is a compact fluorescent bulb. They're by far the least expensive, and a lot of times you'll see something like this. It's got like a 5-foot stand on it. This came in a set of 3. 2 of them had the umbrellas. That's what I'm using as diffusers. And you'll usually see those where the light will be diffused by the umbrella itself and kind of give a softer glow, so you don't have a whole lot of shadows behind you either. Hopefully, that's the goal. I experimented with a couple of things, and because those were a little bit bulky, I wanted to do something a little bit different. And so I experimented with another smaller one. It was portable. I thought I'd try it out. It's an LED, and I thought, well, you know, maybe that's bright enough. Ooh, yeah, see, bright. The problem is there's not a whole lot of adjustment, and bright is bright, and they're too small. You'd have to get them too close to be able to actually do anything. They are very, very good for portable, and a lot of people do use these, and you can use them. They come with different color filters, and there is some good about them. They do a pretty good job, especially if you're trying to do something in a temporary type setup or a portable type setup. Very, very good. And both of these are made by a company called Neewer, N-E-E-W-E-R. I'll leave descriptions for both of them. One is a 3 light set. The other one is a 2 light set. And a lot of times these will come either with a regular plug, or if I can get it out of here, it'll come with a USB plug. I got it wrapped around, sorry about that. But it'll come with a USB type plug, and you might need a little bit different plug strip or a little bit different plug or an adapter or something like that. Or if you've got a car charger and you're doing something very portable, like outside your SUV, your car, whatever it is, plug it into your cigarette adapter, and you can use this as sort of an extra light, maybe even in the dark or on a cloudy day or something. It helps quite a bit. The lights are the power strip I've got, by the way, I picked up on Amazon as well. I'll go ahead and list those as well because they're pretty convenient. It's got 3 receptacles, and then it's got 3 USB charging ports on it. So I thought that was pretty cool too. The biggest difference, of course, it's got the switch on it, but these have their own switch in the cable, so you can't control them all by the plug strip. You have to actually use the inline switch for the portable. Still, they have their function, they have their purpose, and they're pretty good. I can't really complain about them. Those all plug in. They are not rechargeable in any way. They are only 5600K. Which is the temperature. You do have colored filters that come with these, which help the red, yellow, and blue. I found the filters themselves kind of, I don't want to call them cheap and flimsy, but they were kind of cheap and flimsy, and there was a lot of color bleed. There was it didn't suit what I needed it for, or what I was hoping to use it for. To me, if I'm doing the desk setup like I have over in the other room, then it's just as easy for me to use that halogen light, the halogen desk light, pointed up just a little bit, and that highlights me just fine. And then I'll use another light around the corner to kind of let some light bleed in, so it takes some of those shadows in my face away, so I don't look like a total behemoth on the screen. Anyway, getting to the ones that I was actually trying to take a look at in the first place. These are made by Raleno, R-A-L-E-N-O, and I'll leave a description down below. And this is just this is a tripod for a camera, so don't be misled here. But the actual light itself is about a 10-inch, I'd say probably about 8. It's almost the same size as a regular piece of paper, standard piece of paper, just a little bit smaller than that. Standard piece of paper is 8.5 by 11 in the United States. This would be a little bit smaller, and very, very easy to use, very compact. So far I've been very pleased with it, and I'll tell you why. Because as I click this back into place after I dropped it, thank you. It has a couple of different settings on the back that make it very, very convenient. I'm going to show you that right now, because I'm going to turn the brightness down so you can see that on the back there is a display panel. It's rechargeable. It will tell you what the charge is, what the brightness is, and the color temperature, which would be very important as well, because I've got one of these that I'm using as my hair light. So I can take that all the way down, I believe it's down to 3200, which is a warm light, or I can bring it up to like 56 or 5800, which is a very cool white, almost like almost like a daylight, like in some kitchens you might see. The warm light does help with the shadow and keeping it to being too reflective, and I can use it as a hair light. It goes all the way from obviously 0% brightness all the way up to 100% brightness, which is pretty bright. I'm not going to aim it directly at the camera, but it does give off a pretty good amount of light there. And like I said, it does change anywhere from the 5600 down to 3200, I believe it is. I found these very, very easy to work with, very good, and I can't tell you enough how really, I mean, how pleased I was with getting these and trying to use them. Anyway, it does have the charging. It's a standard, just a regular standard wall charger that goes into the input here. These will not turn off, by the way, from a plug strip either. You would have to actually turn them off from the back panel back here, but it's pretty easy to see, again, what your charge is, what your color temperature is, and all of those things from that back panel, which is very, very convenient. Very lightweight. They only probably, I would imagine, maybe a pound and a half. And I'll leave a description. They come on, also it's a 75-inch tall stand, so I can get above, so I can get sort of that highlight type thing on the top of my head, so it helps with that. And it fits just a regular mount, just your standard tripod mount. And I mean, it does come with 2 stands, but you can use any, like I've said, even a portable if you need something portable, and you can adjust the brightness so it's not glaring right in your face. You can turn it down so it's softer. Been using them for about 3 weeks now, and probably even a little bit longer than that, because I've been mentioning since before the end of the year that I was going to do a review on the lights, and I started out that I was just going to do a review on the lights themselves. And since then, it's come to maybe I just needed to do it on lighting itself. So you can kind of see why lighting makes a big difference. But it's something that if you're trying to do, just even filming a YouTube video, doesn't matter if you're streaming on Twitch or whatever, you need something to kind of highlight and show up, and people see kind of what you look like, so that helps a lot. These in particular, like I said, I'll leave, it's not an affiliate link, so I'm not getting any kickback off of it, which is something that I do hope to do this year, by the way. But I will, they're rated for an hour and a half without the cable, or without the charging cable. I found I got more than that out of it, and that was at full brightness on the 5600K. I was using it as a light, like I was a key light, and forgot I had them on, and like I don't know, 2 hours and 15 minutes later, it finally went out. And it surprised me because I forgot I left it on. I was thinking it was just one of the other regular lights because I was in the other room editing. And when it finally went out, it's like, wow, that was a lot more than an hour and a half. And I realized it was closer to 2.5 hours. So the efficiency and the length of the lithium battery that's in here did very, very well. These sell for about $150 for the set. The halogens, or not the halogens, I'm sorry, the fluorescents, the compact fluorescents, much less expensive. They were, I want to think they were in the $50 range or something like that. I'll correct it on the screen if that's wrong. And these, I believe, were like $35 or $40. So there's a lot of different price ranges, a lot of different uses and all that you can get out of lights. But you know what? If you've got the money, if you're doing a channel and you're doing videos, or if you're doing something like streaming and you're looking for an inexpensive option, I'm gonna have to say these are good. I bought them on Amazon, I'd do it again, and I'm very, very happy with the purchase. So that's all I got for right now. I kept promising this and kept promising this, and like I said, originally it was gonna be just on these lights. It turned into talking about lighting itself and some of the advantages and disadvantages, and I hope you got something out of it because you know, I just kept adding more and more to it, more and more to the thought as I was preparing for this video, and I hope at least my procrastination and my length of talking here has at least helped you out a little bit. A couple of things that are changing on the channel and adjusting. Obviously, the intro is a little bit different, a little bit of a different branding. There's a new Discord server. Some friends have already helped get up and get started over there. I'll leave a link to that. There's no charge, no nothing. Everybody's free and welcome. We're just going to develop a community of people that talk about their computers or tech stuff or whatever else, gaming and all that stuff too. So I'll leave that link down below. And I've actually started, I've signed up on Buy Me a Coffee, I believe it is, buymeacoffee.com. And I'll leave a link to that as well. And that's something that people can either subscribe to and give you a little bit of something every month, or they can just send you a one-time, like a cup of coffee and help out. And so maybe things like that will, as I look to start trying to find ways to monetize the channel, maybe I can start off in little chunks like that. As always, folks, you're always welcome to leave me any kind of comments. Please hit that like button if you liked it. If you really, really have to, you can hit the dislike, and I get it. I totally get it. And that red subscribe button down there, oh, that's always a good thing to hit on your way out. So that's all I got for right now, folks. My next video is probably going to be my frustration over RGB lighting in my editing rig, since I couldn't actually do what I wanted to with the Corsair build. We'll get to that later. But anyway, that's all I got for right now. So until next time, folks, I'll see you later.